It says we're live.
Looks like it.
We're checking. We're if you're watching at this point or getting ready to watch, we are doing new technology. So I hope this works out well, but we will see. And so I'm checking. Yep, I'm checking YouTube. YouTube is online. So if you didn't know you could watch this on YouTube, you actually can.
There we go.
And I take it that Facebook is working too?
Facebook indeed is working.
Wow, well, this is a lot easier than what I used to do.
Oh, man.
All right. And and if you leave a comment, so someone at some point, please leave a comment. Did you just post that thing about the movie Friday?
No, that popped up automatically. So.
Oh, that's sweet. that is sweet. Although it says 7:00.
Yeah, I gotta change that. Yeah. when I set it up, it wouldn't allow me to put it as to be determined on the time, and so I just let it stay at whatever it was. So, yeah.
Hey, I'm going. If you post a comment, I think I could actually display it on our show. So whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, we can show it. So like I'm saying, this is new technology. So if you want to help us out, that'd be great. I'm going to welcome, hey y'all, welcome to DNA. All right, let me see if that actually works. And it did. Sweet. This is working out well. So Aaron,
yeah,
you've got some information for us about this Friday night.
Yeah. So if you're watching on Facebook, then you probably see a little ad at the bottom of your screen. Tells you Friday night we're doing an outdoor family movie night. So we are excited about that. However, the time that it's showing you on that event, I have to go and change it here in a little bit, is wrong. We're doing it at 8:30. There's no way we'd be able to see it at 7 p.m. Just because of the way the sun hits and everything. So we're glad to see you.
Yes. You like that?
Yeah, I am amazed. Wow, we are moving up in the world as far as technology. Wow.
Yeah.
But 8:30 p.m. on Friday is what we're shooting for. Unfortunately, I can't tell you what the movie is. I can tell you it's going to be a family movie night, that it'll be fun. But due to our licensing restrictions, I can't tell you exactly what the movie is. I can tell you we'll have individualized bags of popcorn. I went and picked those up today. We'll have some soda. We'll have some water, things like that. So all you have to do is bring yourself and a lawn chair, and we will have everything ready to go for you. 8:30 p.m. on Friday night.
Yeah, it's crazy that we cannot advertise the name of the film. It's one of the weird things with the licensing.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to remember, if someone asked you privately, could you let them know?
I'm sure that I could.
Okay, but you won't.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Well, it depends on if it's trackable, like if they're videotaping me or something like that, or if it's like, I don't know, written down, then maybe I won't, because then, I don't know, I'm sure a lawyer could chase me down or something.
I'm sure. Yeah, because they're supposed to watch it.
Then I'd be happy to tell you.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say something like, I would ask, can you tell someone if they ask you privately? You'd say, well, I can, but I won't.
Yeah.
So I use that with my kids sometimes. Dad, can you do this? I can, but I won't. So, yeah. So the other thing announcing, and you'll see it in the ticker down there, is that it looks like we're going to continue to meet outside through Labor Day, unless something amazing happens. Mm-hmm. The outside services have been going pretty well. We've had really good weather so far, and we do have a plan if it does rain. But if it rains, just stay home, because we will live stream, and so the live stream will always be. Our plan is the live stream will always happen. We've had a couple technical issues the past couple of weeks. One week it wasn't our issue. The other week, rebooting a computer fixed it. So we're going to try to reboot computers before we start the live stream in hopes that will clear up all the technical issues we've had.
Yeah.
So, and we have another question. I like that. Use some charades.
Yeah, maybe I'll send out like emojis and like, so it's not actually saying what it is, but I can send out emojis.
Sounds like that would be cool. Maybe you should, and it could, people could play it at home. Guess the name of the film. But you have to be very, very subtle, because you don't want people all of a sudden posting, "Oh, this is what the movie is."
Yeah.
I guess the only way. Well, here's the thing, and I'm asking if this would work, because you've looked at the licensing. If you give some sort of obscure code and they guess it, the way that they would find out they were right is by coming to the movie.
That's right.
And I'm thinking there could be a prize involved.
I have a whole prize box now from Science by Junior. Emily thinks that's pretty cool. Then again, she's a teacher, but
yeah. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's pretty cool. I think it's code.
Okay, because I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, maybe what I'll do is that might be too late. I was gonna say maybe on Friday afternoon, maybe I'll post emojis and what the movie is, an emoji code.
Emoji code.
And then find out later that night.
Now, here's the thing. If you do that, the only thing I would do is I would just take all those emojis and put them into Google to see what it says. So it's going to have, you're going to have multiple layers of subtle code.
Yeah.
So all right. So we've got the movie night going on. We've got the services, kind of covered that. Was that as far as kind of like letting people in on some news?
Yeah, as far as announcements go, I think that's pretty much it for now.
See, I was trying to avoid the word announcements. I don't know why I was. Oh, hey, here's some breaking news.
Yes.
I'm back from vacation.
Yes, thank goodness. So remember when I said in the 2 weeks ago when I interviewed Sam that this is not the 2 weeks to go and do something silly where you might hurt yourself. That you refrain from bad decisions for 2 weeks. Well, now you can any bad decisions. Go ahead now. David's back. So.
Yeah, you're free to make bad choices. Yeah. So one of the things that has been happening, over the past 2.5 months, and actually we've done this some in the past as well, is going through the neighborhood, Highland Village area, and doing what we call what's called prayer walking. Mm-hmm. Aaron, you want to share a little bit about prayer walking?
Yeah. So one thing I'll say is this hasn't just been going on for months. It's been going on for a couple of years, intermittently, right? And so so we go prayer walking every week on Thursdays. And I know some of you have heard me say things about it, like in sermons and things like that. But really, what we're doing when we go out is we're not going out and acting like crazy people, like shouting out prayers and things like that, and exorcising demons as we go down the street or anything like that. For the most part, what we're doing is we're just going around. We're noticing things like we'll notice is there trash on the ground? What can that tell us about our community? What can we do about those things? Just the various things that you see. Do you see poverty? Do you see things like that? And when you see those things, it's asking God, well, what are you calling me to do in this community? And also seeing some of the good things that are going on, and thank God for that, and say, well, how can I lift up the good things that you're doing in our community? And things of that nature. But the cool thing about it to me, and I mentioned this in a sermon a couple weeks back, is that what you're really doing when you're prayer walking is you're planting seeds. You're planting seeds for the kingdom, and you never know how they're going to turn out. One story I've been telling David is a couple weeks ago, actually, when David first went on vacation, I actually went prayer walking by myself. Emily was out of town. David was out of town. Some of the other folks that go prayer walking with us, they were all busy, so I ended up going by myself. I ended up running into a fella at the park at Highland Village Park, and we had just excellent conversations. And I prayed with them. We prayed with one another. Just awesome conversations. And the funny thing about it was, he said, I told him normally we're out and about and we have more people with us, and he goes, "Wait, are you guys the popsicle people?" And I said, "Yes, because usually we'll walk around with popsicles and ask anyone if they want a popsicle, something like that." I like to call it, instead of prayer walking, most recently I keep calling it popsicles and prayers. So
there we go. Yeah.
If you want to go popsicles and praying with us, it's awesome. But he said, 2 years ago, something like 2 years ago, my kids here, you guys gave us a popsicle for them, and it made their day. And so that was a seed planted 2 years ago that now has come back and was part of this awesome conversation I got to have with that individual. And you guys would have never known, 2 years ago that you can only hope. You can only hope. But it worked out, and I have several other stories from the past few weeks that have landed that way. But it's a really awesome experience.
It is, and the whole thing is, when you become consistent and intentional about things, you have no idea how God will use that.
Yeah.
I think there's a saying that sometimes people quit too soon. They keep working, and finally they just kind of give up. And the thing is, what if the next time was, quote, the breakthrough, or the next week everything started falling into place and you kind of gave up too soon? Yeah. And prayer walking is, I would say, a spiritual discipline, but that's true of the other spiritual disciplines in our lives as well. I've known a lot of folks that have started praying and they started reading their Bible, and they're trying to be consistent and intentional. But then after a while, they just kind of get out of the habit. And it's like, man, what if God has something for you as long as you continue to be consistent in that and faithful? You have no idea what God will do that 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 40 years down the line.
Yeah.
That 40 years was for you, not for me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You just have to continue being faithful and showing up, and God is the one who's doing the work, and that's one of the things that it always shows you. Two examples of this. One, you mentioned giving up early. I think of I watched an interview recently of this band that I like called Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and they most recently. Started having like hit songs that got played on the radio, things like that. But he says that, I was ready to give up on music. I had been doing this for like 20 something years and nothing ever connected with people. Then I put out a song I didn't even like that much and it became a hit.
That's how those pop songs are.
Yeah, exactly. But he was just about ready to give up, and then the breakthrough happened. But then you take that into faith, and another example is what's his name?
John.
No.
Fred.
The pastor of Transformation Church. Michael Todd.
Mike. Yeah.
Michael Todd. Talks about like. A lot of people in his church got really disappointed at him when several years ago he spent thousands of dollars on recording equipment for their sanctuary, and now he said all I did was decide to be faithful and just recorded the things we were already doing, and because I was faithful, it ended up like down the road. Now we're in a pandemic and they have just these like hundreds of hours of stuff that they've done for the past few years just because he felt that's what God wanted him to do way back when, like 10 years ago. And then, being faithful in things is important, and just seeing how God's going to show up and amaze you.
Yeah, because God will, and we have no idea when that will be. And so you just continue to be, like I said, intentional and consistent, and just believing that, if you don't see God using whatever you're offering now, that one day, just like with Mike Todd, one day all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, we've been doing this for years. I think sometimes in our culture we get the idea that, I put my quarter in the machine and I pull the lever, and if nothing comes out, something's wrong.
Yeah.
And we'll only put our quarter in so many times before it's like, well, that doesn't work. But our spiritual formation is more like, I keep using, gardening. It's more organic. You plant a seed, and if you keep coming out every day, you're not going to see a lot. But if you come out every week, you'll see changes taking place.
Yeah, right.
It's hard to see that day-to-day stuff that God's doing behind the scenes.
Right.
Now
you can have that time lapse where we can just see it all take shape.
That's cool. Yeah. So instead of looking at yesterday or the day before or even the week before, look at things, 4 years ago, 2 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago. What transformation have you seen through being faithful to what God has been calling you to do?
Right.
Now, I'm jerking the conversation right now.
Yeah.
Because I've got to ask you, because the last couple of times I've talked to you, I've realized that Addie has made it to a new stage. She's found her voice.
She's found her voice. She likes it very loud currently. So.
It's exciting, because for the first we've known one another since January. For like the first 4 months, the child, I never heard the child make any noise.
Yeah. Yeah. Now she's just excited about everything. So.
Excited about life, and that's and we can be that way too. Maybe we need to find our voice.
Yeah.
So, well, we've been on, we'd like to keep these around 20 minutes or so. We're at 17. I guess if you have any comments or any thoughts, go ahead and put them in here. We can actually show them now with this new rig that we've got going here. And so if you have questions, I don't think you mentioned the time that we go prayer walking.
Yeah, so we go on Thursday nights at 5:30 p.m. So if you're ever looking for something to do around 5:30 p.m. on Thursday nights, it's a lot of fun. So
it is, and even if you're not looking for something to do,
yeah,
it's still a good thing to. And again, when we encounter people, especially with the popsicles, they say, "Why are you doing this?" And it's like, we just want you to know that you matter.
Yeah.
You matter to God, you matter to us, your life matters. And if there's, if you don't feel comfortable praying for others, we don't force you to do anything like that. But if there's opportunity, there are already people on the prayer walk that's like, I'll pray for this person.
Yeah.
And we have no idea the difference that it might make in someone's life.
Right.
So, well, I think that's all I have. I don't see any comments, anything that you would like to close with, Aaron.
I don't think so. I think I'm blank this week. I'm at a loss for words. I will reiterate that if you want to make bad decisions, that now is the time. You have the green
time. Now's the time, and you can quote Aaron on that.
Yeah.
Well, we need to do one of those quote pictures. If you want to make bad decisions, now's the time. Aaron Taylor.
Well, once again, maybe actually just hold off on those bad decisions until the end of 2020, because this might not be the year for it.
That's true. This might not be the year for bad decisions. Yeah. All right. Well, everyone, I pray that you're having a blessed day, and I pray that you experience just the joy of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll see you guys next week, or if not before.